Let's look at Dollywood Theme Park spanning 160 acres in the Great Smoky Mountains. Dollywood Theme Park offers more than 50 world-class rides, high-energy entertainment, award-winning dining and the friendliest theme park atmosphere in the world. Dollywood's entertainment, recognized worldwide, delivers quality productions and concerts featuring country, bluegrass, southern gospel, classic rock and roll and Appalachian music. Daily demonstrations by more than a dozen master craftsmen offer a glimpse into the authentic artistry of the area's rich heritage. In addition to mouth-watering, Southern-style food offered throughout the park, Dollywood hosts several of the South's largest festivals with special performing groups and concerts. Dollywood has the best rides and attractions, including Lightning Rod. Themed after a tricked-out 1950s-era hot rod, Lightning Rod registered sends riders more than 20 stories up its lift hill. At the crest of the hill, riders face twin summit airtime hills before tackling the daring first drop. Lightning Rod races down the 165-foot drop and propels guests along its 3,800-foot track at speeds up to 73 miles per hour. Next we have Mystery Mine. What if there is no light at the end of the tunnel? Find out on Dollywood's Mystery Mine Steel Coaster, where a 1,811-foot track travels through an abandoned coal mine. Uncertain encounters and amazing maneuvers await, including a hair-raising 95-degree, 85-foot vertical drop that plunges into darkness. Then there's Wild Eagle, America's first wing coaster, the first ride of its kind in the U.S., is perched 21 stories above Dollywood and takes riders on a unique experience that feels as if they are actually soaring high above the Smoky Mountains. Instead of having the train on the track, Wild Eagle seats riders on either side so there is nothing but air above and below the rider. This steel, wing coaster ride includes a 135-foot drop, 4 inversions, extreme banking and maximum speeds of 61 miles per hour. This ride creates a maximum 4x G-force on the rider. Thunderhead, an old sawmill once moved lumber out of the mountains at Thunderhead Gap. Wood is still the focus, but now the operation known as the Thunderhead is the wildest ride in the woods. Carefully situated between two mountains, this massive wooden coaster stands tall among the mighty trees and takes advantage of the area's rough and tumble terrain to create a daring ride featuring a 100-foot drop and a top speed of 55 miles per hour. Tennessee Tornado. What happens when a mighty twister sweeps through an old Tennessee mining company? Locals say the swirling winds twisted ore into what we now call the Tennessee Tornado. A force of nature all its own, this triple spiral looping coaster makes you feel like you've landed inside a funnel cloud as you zoom down a 128-foot drop through an actual mountain at speeds nearing 70 miles per hour. It's enough to make local weather forecasters issue a Tennessee tornado warning. Fire Chaser Express. They say where there's smoke, there's fire. In the Smoky Mountains, that's more than just a saying. Fortunately, it seems like with every big blaze, there have always been a few brave souls willing to answer the call. Heroes able to tame nature's fury and preserve the Smokies for generations to come. Now comes your turn to celebrate that heroic spirit in a new coaster sure to test your mettle and leave you screaming for more. It's Fire Chaser Express, the nation's first dual-launch family coaster, blasting riders forward and backward. This forward and backward launching family coaster features a 72-foot lift height, 2.5x G-force and 0.1 negative G-forces and reaches a speed of 35 miles per hour. Dragonflyer. One of the most playful creatures inhabiting the Wildwood Grove's creekside, Dragonflyer mimics the flight of a Smoky Mountain dragonfly as it speeds through the terrain in a twisting, unpredictable path. With the rush of wind and the thrill of flight, there's nothing more exhilarating than a ride on the wings of a dragonfly. Dragonflyer is a moderate thrill attraction. This suspended family coaster reaches speeds up to 43 miles per hour with a lift height of 63. Guests will experience up to 3.5 positive G-forces. Blazing Fury. An out-of-control fire is just minutes away from engulfing this 1880s town, and chaos ensues as the town's residents, a cast of characters ranging from firefighters to gunslingers and damsels in distress, hurry to escape the blaze. Riders scream through town on this indoor roller coaster, taking each hill and curve with great speed as they try to outrun the fire. This indoor coaster is in a dark environment with quick turns and sudden drops. Big Bear Mountain. Dollywood's largest ever park expansion, Wildwood Grove, is now even bigger. Big Bear Mountain is the longest coaster at Dollywood, taking guests of all ages on an unforgettable family-friendly expedition in search of the Big Bear. Circling Wildwood Grove for nearly 2 minutes on 3,990 feet of track, This gigantic coaster is a first of its kind at Dollywood with onboard audio, including music and announcements from Ned Oakley himself. Barnstormer. Enjoy the same breathtaking moments that daring stunt pilots of the 1920s might have experienced as they zoomed over the fields of nearby farms. The Barnstormer features 2 pendulum arms with seating for 32 riders. Seated back-to-back, riders travel progressively higher on each swing of the Barnstormer's massive arms, reaching a maximum speed of 45 miles per hour and 230 degrees of rotation. At its peak, the Barnstormer reaches a staggering 81 feet in the air. The Barnstormer rests amid a big, red barn, creating a huge, barnyard-themed area which includes a 22-foot by 16-foot biplane. Daredevil Falls. Only a real daredevil will venture into an abandoned logging camp for a one-of-a-kind boat expedition. If you're up to the challenge, let our adventurous guides help you navigate your way through some close calls with the bears and the old left-behind lumber machinery. But, just when you catch your breath, your boat careens over a waterfall down a 60-foot drop at a heart-racing 50 miles per hour. Dropline. Dropline lifts guests more than 20 stories above Dollywood's Timber Canyon. The ride's gondola slowly spins around the tower as it ascends, providing guests with a bird's-eye view of the Great Smoky Mountains. Guests shouldn't get too comfortable with the commanding vantage point they find high above the ground. However, in an instant, Dropline plummets them back to the ground in a thrilling rush of excitement. So those are just some of the 50 rides and attractions at Dollywood. They have rides for kids, a genuine, 110-ton coal-fired steam engine that sounds its whistle during a 20-minute, 5-mile loop adventure. There is the Great Tree Swing, Rockin' Roadway, Shooting Star, Smoky Mountain River Rampage and so much more. Dollywood is so awesome. Let's not forget Dollywood Splash Country. Dollywood Splash Country is the perfect summer retreat for the whole family. Explore towering slides, sparkling pools, and family-friendly splash zones all tucked into the shaded beauty of the Great Smoky Mountains. With all the fun you will have, you need so places to rest your head. Dollywood Resorts, surrounded by the beauty of the Great Smoky Mountains yet only minutes away from excitement, their collection of resort hotels offer accommodations, dining, activities and so much more to make your family's trip memorable. There are plenty of things to do and see when you visit the Smoky Mountains and Dollywood Parks and Resorts at any time of year. So start planning your trip to Dollywood Resort. As we say at Allred Travel, get up and go. Don't forget to visit their website at dollywood.com.